TV tournament right here on GG Speedruns. We've had some very exciting matches for you today, but this one, another exciting one, is sure to be approaching us here as we've got Tapatioj, the longtime veteran, taking on Joeymittens. In their last matches, Tapatioj went up against Tetsuo and just got absolutely hosed by Mutoid Man RNG. He was definitely in the running. He ended up losing 3-0, but that could have been a lot closer than the box score indicates. Joeymittens, meanwhile, took on Coolio in his second chance round and swept him 3-0. That is how these two runners got to this spot right here. This is, again, an elimination match between these two. Winner moves on and will take on either Dark Lord Gonzo or E.T. Go Ham in the next round. The loser will be eliminated from the tournament.
And I gotta admit, I got a hankering for some of that Tapatio sauce on Joeymittens waffles right there.
Oh, yeah? I don't know about that. That sounds like an interesting combination. I mean, I'd rather have that kind of sauce on, say, some chicken wings, but that's neither here nor there. But here we go. Game number one. They both have their Razor Shield manipulations out and about. There's a nuke on the feet, which Joeymittens will wisely ignore. You want to be at about 52,000 points if you're going to try for the finishing nuke. Let's see what the next drop is. Now, Joeymittens might have that opportunity. Oh, that was early. No, that was on time. I'm surprised as you are there, a drumboardist. Joeymittens is going to have the nice hole shot with a mid-39. It'll be a mid-41 for Tab, so he only hit it on 49,000. Somehow it worked out for him. Just got a lesser spawn than what you normally anticipate. It worked out for Joey, so he's got the advantage. First drop is a foot. Tapatioj gets a spreader, slight advantage to Taps.
Well, no, there's a spreader immediately for Joey, so we're still kind of even. The extra move speed might help him out, especially the rockets right there.
Definitely, drumboardist. Those Vitamin R will give him an advantage if he can keep the firing lanes good. Tapatioj just grabbing weapons, trying to force the issue here. He's got grenades. More rockets for Joey. Should be able to close up the room here for him, and it will indeed. And he'll have about little over a half a clip to take with him into the start of Eat My Shrapnel at 123, but more importantly, Tapatioj gets an orb to close the room. He will be trailing by about 8.5 seconds. So Eat My Shrapnel, 18 of the Mr. Shrapnel to take care of. A maximum of 4 can be on the screen at any given point, and that's when you start to bleed time. You want that 42.5 second Eat My Shrapnel room there.
I mean, Razor Shield's not bad. It allows him to pretty much ignore the mooks and just focus fire on the Shrappies here, but he's not going to be clearing them nearly as fast as if he had an orb, so he's going to be grabbing all the drops that he can to try and force the issue.
And Tap's struggling in this room. Not only did he lose the orb, he took a death as well, so I would imagine that Joeymittens' lead is going to extend. He still is without an orb, though, at 205, so he's going to want to see one soon, or hope that Taps doesn't get a replacement. Yeah, that time is bleeding on Tap's side. It is now into the double digits as Joey's finishing off the clip of rockets there. He is 13 seconds back, is Tapatioj, so that big mistake in Eat My Shrapnel really looming large right now for Taps.
Meanwhile, controlling the middle, I'll take a one-up, using judiciously that shield to try and clear out guys getting a little too close to him. Still grabbing everything he can to force the issue, but he made good use of the rockets that he had walking in, so good on him. I don't know about that smart bomb, though.
Yeah, but they both now have a Razor Shield, more rockets for Joey. I mean, these weapons are keeping him afloat. Little does he know, his opponent is struggling right now, not getting that orb replacement since losing it in Eat My Shrapnel. And Joey right now in complete control despite the fact he has no orb. Now he's got a spreader. They both have a spreader now, but still no orb for either player at this juncture. 3:05 into this game. Joey is going to finish up the room. I'll tell you what, that's a really good total carnage when you don't have an orb. He got the weapons to keep him afloat and kept control of the middle, and still with a 3:14 orbless. That's a pretty good time, drumboardist.
Yes, it is. Into the secret room. Hey, what time is it?
I'd say, well, it's not time for product placement. They both have to be at the same room at the same time. Otherwise, we got to do the rush.
Fair enough.
Like, for example, right here. Oh, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell.
All right.
Looks like it's about a 15-second lead for Mittens over Taps here in game number 1. Welcome to the broadcast booth, by the way, Cards. Good to have you on board.
It's good to be here today. I got home just in time. Joey Mittens runs right into the shrapnel dude, and Taps has 2/3 of a clip of rockets, which will help him start this room. Joey's struggling here. Does get the second gunner down thanks to the invulnerability. More rockets waiting for Taps. This could be Taps' opportunity to catch up and possibly take the lead.
Good rocket fire there from Taps until he had to pull away from the center a bit to dodge some incoming shrapnel and cannon fire, but now he's got an orb to keep things afloat. Maybe he'll see more rockets in the future, who knows, but now we're getting rockets into rockets for Joey.
Yeah, it took about 2.5 minutes for Tap's replacement orb to show up there after losing it and eat my shrapnel. Joey using the nuke that'll conserve some of the rest of his rockets here. This is going to be close coming out of this room, but I do think Taps might have the advantage and come out of this room first, erasing that deficit. No, it is still going to be Joey Mittens, but just check this out, folks. 4:42 is the time. Look at Taps. 4:44. He has shaved it to a 2-second race. Plus, he has a chance of that ball buster.
That's the power of rockets, Cards. You gotta love it.
Oh, most definitely indeed. And if anybody knows about rockets, it's Joeymittens Wedge here. And oh, Joey is picked up by the gunner, and that's going to cost him a little bit, but luckily he will get this lobber. Tapatioj gets zapped and loses out on his ball buster, so a mistake there for Taps. This could give an opportunity for Joey Mittens to take a lead to start the Mutoid Man fight. Unfortunately, we're getting a little bit of Joey was a little bit unsure about that. He went ahead and grabbed the spreader rather than go for the death there. Can he get to the lobbers? He can. So right now it's a neck and neck race between these two.
Yeah, simultaneous arm pops and both of them going at it with lobbers here. Looks like Taps has pulled ahead a bit here. Just good lobber fire is going to pop that second arm.
Just by a little bit, and he's got a refill lobber and another one coming for him as well. So he's got the ribcage exposed. Weapon quality favoring Taps right now. Joey Mittens needs to see a spreader soon or see the weapons dry up. Well, there's rockets, which is lower DPS. But Troll Toy Man doing Troll Toy Man things to Joey Mittens as the head comes off on Tap's side, and there's a player 2 spreader. Joeymittens would love to see that in his matches. Joey going for the intentional, hoping for the best. Instead, he gets a lobber. Spreader, a couple manuals there for Tapatioj as he gets to the final 4 before he gets vibrated. And the head pops off for Joey Mittens. It's a full form lead, but an empty drop for Taps, and there's the worst drop in the final form, that spreader. So that could give a chance for Joey to maybe catch up, and an empty drop. This is Mutoid Man empty drop final form shenanigans that we typically see, but this lobber should do the trick for Tapatioj. Oh, and that laser shot is definitely going to seal curtains in this one. Tapatioj should finish off Mutoid Man here. A few shots left to go. He is missing them, though. Lobbers for Joey Mittens.
He did pick up that refreshment just in case, but it looks like he didn't need it after all. It's going to be Taps taking game 1, Cards.
Absolutely. Nice come from behind victory there for Tapatioj, and Joey Mittens. This is going to be disappointing because he had the lead for practically the entire run, but Mutoid Man doing Mutoid Man things. And what was about a 15-second lead, as you mentioned, Jack, turns into a 10-second loss for Joey Mittens.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the story of this quintuple header today. There's been a lot of wild lead swings in that Mutoid Man room. Drops heavily favoring one runner over the other, but we've kind of seen it from game to game be pretty equal across all the matches, though. It's like if one player gets a huge Mutoid Man in game 1, the other player's going to get a big one in game 2, and I guess we're going to see if that's going to hold true here in the next game between Taps and Joey.
Yeah, you're right about this, Jack. And looking at the results, without spoiling anything, but it feels like the current NCAA double tournaments, like all the favorites are saying, take these upsets and just shove it. Wasn't that a good comparison, gentlemen?
That was good.
All right. I'll tell you what, very competitive game there for both runners. And Tank Trouble definitely was, in my opinion, the difference. Sure, you can look at the Mutoid Man fight and, that Tapatioj won that by 12 seconds, but it goes back to Tank Trouble. Tapatioj with the more experience, and plus he got his orb replacement. That was what helped him get back into this game, and then a better RNG from Tapatioj, the better drops on Mutoid Man was what enabled Tapatioj to complete the comeback.
not just that, it's also making sure that the steady diet of lobbers that he was getting, he was landing every single shot until he was able to actually push forward. That's why he got, a full form ahead despite the 1 to 2 second difference there.
All right, so these runners are going to get set for game number 2. And this will be a pivotal game here for Joeymittens to try to equalize this. Tapatioj got the RNG that he was wanting to get against Tetsuo in that last match. He got the RNG he needed to win that game. He'll need to keep the RNG flowing, or Joeymittens, he needs to see the RNG flow his way. But he's got to tighten up that tank trouble because he played the arena without an orb very, very well. And just never saw an orb and just couldn't make do with what he needed to work with in tank trouble to sustain that lead. Let's see what happens here in game number 2.
Game number 2, Taps versus Joey. Both of them got their Razor Shield and getting to work here in Arena 1.
And it's just a matter of where they're going to be positioned, what weapons they take, if there's a timely nuke at the end. Another chance here for Joeymittens. He was able to succeed in game number 1, has the chance here, and he's going to have the whole shot yet again.
Beautiful play. Beautiful play.
Oh, absolutely a beautiful play indeed. This will be a high 40 versus a high 41. He's got a 1 second lead on Tap. So Joey has outplayed Tapatioj in the first room so far in this match. Let's see what happens here and collect power-ups and see if Joeymittens can get some good weapons to try and get back into this match. Nuke versus an invulnerability. Nothing great for either player. Now a nuke for Joey just to give himself a little breather, maybe buy a better drop. A foot for Tapatioj. Another nuke, this time on the feet for Joeymittens. So back-to-back nukes. Now Vitamin R for Taps. He's going to have the advantage.
Not for too long, though, Cards, because there's some rockets for Joey now.
Yep, that's definitely going to help neutralize that situation. But look at this. Another first orb for Tapatioj. He gets it first, and they are tied at 127 apiece going into Eat My Shrapnel. The start of the room is where we could see Taps maybe build a little bit of a lead. Grenades on the feet for Joey will help take care of the swirls, and he gets an orb right now. So things looking promising for Joeymittens. Both runners, if they keep it going and, don't miss up on firing lanes, make sure that the Mr. Shrapnel's under control, they should still be even coming out of this room, pending final drop, of course.
Yeah, absolutely right you are, Cards. And I gotta say, that's some really good grenade use by Joey. Not a weapon you tend to want to see a whole lot in the arenas, but he was able to use it to keep the shrapnels under control, both while he was waiting for the orb and while he was waiting for the second sabotage grenades to run out.
Ooh,
and he's going to exit just a hair ahead of Taps going into Total Carnage.
He gained 3 seconds. Unfortunately, Taps, I think, let the Mr. Shrapnels get a little bit out of control, so he ended up losing some time there. Joey did get that 42.5-second room, despite the fact he did not start with that orb. So very well done there for Joeymittens. So now here we are in Total Carnage, but they both have the orb this time around, unlike in game number 1. A nuke there for Taps will give him a little bit of a breather here. Joey looking for some weapons to complement that orb, as is Taps. We're not seeing anything right now. A foot versus invulnerability. Still nothing doing here for either of these runners. We're seeing the garbage here, but there's a late Razor Shield for Joey. Should help him finish the room and keep that orb intact.
Yeah, gotta love seeing the Razor Shield in some of these busier rooms there, because not only does it protect you, you can use it as a weapon, and if you're really confident in your firing lanes. Joey electing to just hang on to the middle. Taps in a little bit of trouble there, but he's able to...
he loses the orb at the very end.
Too soon.
And it's still a 3-second advantage for Joeymittens, but more importantly, he's got the orb, and Taps not happy with that.
No, you can see him shaking his head, looking at the ceiling there. He really wants that last second of that previous room back there. He knows that he made the mistake, but you can see him just shaking his head, trying to shake it off, trying to get him mentally prepared to get back in this thing and keep going here in tank trouble.
All right, opening drop a foot, nothing to write home about for Joey, so this could get tough. A nuke, that would have been nice if he still had that orb. He'll get one gunner down. Joey gets a nuke, the other gunner's down. Hey, that was a great drop there for Joey. Well played there. Good drops as well. Another nuke waiting for him. Trying to buy that better drop. It gives him another breather. Taps with back-to-back spreaders now. Now Joeymittens with another foot. Taps, good grab of the spreader there. But Joeymittens keeping control of the middle. I would think if he can keep this orb healthy, should have the lead coming out. He's getting a little overwhelmed, and there it goes. Does get some rockets with good firing efficiency. Oh, but he's picked off by the shrapnel. That's a bad miss there for Joeymittens. Just did not see that shrapnel coming and loses most of his rockets. But good news for him, he will get a replacement. How about 2 replacements? He's going to have a full clip of rockets. 437 as he was trying to not step on the mine. We've seen a lot of leaf that's already in the tournament, and that lead has grown for Joeymittens. Tapatioj losing that orb at the very end of Total Carnage has cost him, and now he's the one that's going to have to come from behind, and it's an opening spreader. A 16-second advantage for Joeymittens comes right toward him as well. This is great for Joeymittens.
16 and counting with that spreader, and yeah, real unfortunate slow cleanup for Taps at the end of that room there. He needs a spreader yesterday to get back in this thing, because that second arm for Joey is popping right now.
Yep, absolutely. Joeymittens having a great run here, getting the lobbers, getting some nice shots on here, nice bank shots as well. Needs to get Mutoid Man out of the way to get those lobbers, but he won't get out of the way as the rib cage is exposed, and now an empty drop. Chance for Tapatioj to cut into that lead.
Yeah, 3-form lead, but Tap's very good with the lobber fire. You can see most of those shots landing pretty
it was
much
a hard
right on the
spreader.
sweet spot.
So he's
and
got to go land. Nice manuals, though, for Joeymittens. He's gotten a full form off it. He did a really good job getting most of that spreader utilized right there. Now has grenades. He is in a good position to tie up this match here. Should be final form shortly for Joeymittens. Not yet, though. But Tapatioj still struggling, still only has 1 arm popped off. Things looking good for Joeymittens. Gonna get to final form right here. It's been a great,
huge
huge
advantage for Joey there. He's been really good with his lobber fire. What I especially appreciated was a little bit earlier, Mutoid got a little close to him along the wall, so Joey changed his firing lane so that he was firing the lobber diagonally opposite Mutoid, which seems completely crazy, but those shots were landing in the sweet spot. Just really good lobber play right there.
Very nicely done. About a 632, 633 there for Joeymittens. He'll take game number 2 and equalize this match at 1 game apiece. Yeah, that was a well-played all-around game there for Joeymittens, other than losing the orb, obviously, in tank trouble, which, again, you would expect to have happen sometimes, every now and then. But overall, Joeymittens with the better arena gameplay and had a great Mutoid Man fight as well.
I agree.
Joeymittens had a 616. He was a spreader away from a PB there. I mean, that's how good he played at that last game. I mean, he's one of the runners that I'm looking at this list here. Could be the next to make that sub-6 club. That's still struggling, has made it to final form, but he is going to be very disappointed in this time. He was 15 seconds back going in, 16 seconds back, I beg your pardon, and he's going to end up losing by a minute. I mean, he just didn't get good drops on the Mutoid Man fight, but once again, this time it was a poor tank trouble, which stemmed from the end of Total Carnage, and that's what really set Tapatioj back there in game number 2. We're tied at 1 apiece.
Hey, best of 5 becomes a best of 3. I mean, that's quality entertainment for us, both in the booth and in the audience here. Keeps things close, keeps things interesting.
That's right, Jack, because now we are guaranteed at least 2 more games here in this final match of the quintuple header today here on GG Speedruns. You'll love to see it. Joeymittens, very solid run right there. Tapatioj just made that mistake at the end of Total Carnage, just could never recover after that. We'll see if he can rebound in game number 3.
Well, I know me my Taps, and Taps ain't no quitter. He's a gamer through and through. You could see him shaking his head at every little mistake there. He understands the game. He understands what has to be done. The only question is, can he execute? And if he can do that, I think he can make this a 2-1 in his favor here in Game 3.
Yeah, most definitely indeed. Drum Boaters, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it pretty much always comes down to Mutoy, doesn't it? I mean, we can walk in with somebody at 15 seconds ahead and lose by 20. It's just how well are you going to execute with whatever he's going to hand you? And Joey absolutely has been executing, as he just demonstrated.
Yeah, most certainly did indeed. And we'll see if he can keep that up here in game number 3. A very crucial game number 3, because whoever wins this will have 2 opportunities to take this match and move on in that second chance bracket. Once again, folks, for those of you just joining us, this is an elimination match. Win, you advance. Lose, you're out. Here we go, game number 3.
And that's the 3rd time where Taps' Manip has put the Razor Shield in the middle as opposed to top right. That's weird.
That's very weird indeed. It kind of makes you wonder if his manipulation's just a hair off.
Because he's always walking upright where you assume it's going to be, and every time it's been low, and I wonder if that's mentally getting to him.
Very well might indeed. And once again, Joeymittens with the hole shot. He's 3 for 3, and it's a sub 40. He's about a second and 2/3 ahead of Taps going into collect power-ups. So yeah, Joeymittens has won all 3 Arena 1 rooms so far. Grenades, but Vitamin R for Taps should give him the early advantage.
That's the kind of thing you're looking for. I mean, a smart bomb, you can just sit on that forever. You probably won't even pick it up, but you don't need it. You have rockets.
You can absolutely ignore it when you've got rockets at your disposal. Now he's out of rockets, and look at this. Joeymittens the first to get an orb. He's the first time he's gotten the orb first in this match. Taps still might have the advantage just with those rockets, but it depends on the firing lanes here. Let's see, Joeymittens is finishing up the room, and yeah, despite the fact he had rockets, Joeymittens keeps that 1 second lead.
Yeah, Taps.
I will say, though, that was some pretty good grenade usage from Taps there. He optimized it. A lot of those grenades were absolutely shredding through the swarmers and not just basically missing everything just a few feet away from the player. Very rare to see grenades being so effective.
Yeah, very well done there for Taps, to keep it a 1 second game. Now Joey gets plagued by grenades on the feet there. Taps did pick up an orb, so they both have an orb. So again, neck and neck here at Total Carnage. We were close in game number 2. We're close in game number 3. It's going to come down to who has the good last shot. And Joey, 208. Taps, 210. So Joey gained about a second, maybe 3/4 of a second in that room, and starts with a Razor Shield. Great opener for Joey.
Terrible placement.
And now it's Vitamin R with rockets on top.
Yeah, Joey getting the goods here at the start of Total Carnage. A couple of spreaders for Taps, but yeah, Joey, I expect that lead is going to grow, and it should grow even further with more rockets.
It's the spreader shot for Taps.
More razors. I love it.
I mean, Tapatioj's getting spreaders. More spreaders for Tapatioj. You know what this means, right? He's not going to see any in Mutoid Man. That's just how it works.
His luck, he'll somehow get a smart bomb.
And there's another Razor Shield for Joeymittens, but 2 Razor Shields. You very rarely see that, but it just worked out that way. Nice pick off of the shuttle. And look at this, Taps has taken the lead. I don't know how he did it, but he really caught some fire at the end on his firing lanes and has taken about a 2-second lead. Wow, I am shocked, but also impressed at the same time by Taps. Wow.
It's all them spreaders.
Yeah, the spreaders did its work. He had better firing lanes. I think that's it. He just had better firing lanes than Joeymittens. I mean, you look at the time, it's about a 1.5 second lead for Taps. No weapon for either player. A Razor Shield, bad spot. Invulnerability, he can at least ignore the bullets, but he might even ignore the drop, period. That's exactly what Joey is going to do. He's just focusing on, he's picked up by the shrapnel, and Taps loses his life as well.
Well, at least he has the replacement Razor.
Yeah, that bad luck there for Joey. He had a chance to really build a lead on Taps, but that shrapnel right there ended any hopes right there. Now it's just going to come down to who's got better drops, better firing lanes. These rockets, a great drop for Joey there. Grenades, Tapatioj is just fishing for better drops here. Spreader now for Joey after to replace these rockets. I think Joey is going to have the lead here, folks.
I mean, he's making judicious work with his shield as best as he can, taking out the big beefy tank with it since he was nearby. But, I mean, yeah, he's looking for anything better than protection right now.
There you go. 4:31, so Joey has retaken the lead. Orb late for Taps, could give him a chance at the ball buster if he doesn't lose it at the end. He's got it. He is trailing by 10 seconds. Contestant 1.
Well, Lobber's a solid start for Joey.
Most certainly is indeed. Good Mutoid Man. He could PB out of this. Lobber to start for Taps as well, and he'll have a chance at the ball buster for 42% of a form worth of damage if he can time it right. But he's going down, which is usually not good if you're trying to line up a ball buster. So he's just going to focus on the lobber shots here until he has such an opportunity. Lobbers for Joeymittens, a spreader, and Taps.
3 lobbers in a row for Taps, and then a God spreader. These are some nice drops.
Yep, just going to forego that ball buster, get that extra damage here, and he is starting to put the pedal to the metal, and he's got a Glitchtoid Man here. He's got the lead, not by much. This is still close. Lobbers for Joeymittens as the head pops off. So yeah, he does have a lead, but he needs a weapon as Joey got run over, got a lobber replacement. Tapatioj trying to buy a spreader. What is it? It's lobbers, and does get to him before they disappear. And now the head pops off for Joey. It's neck and neck, folks. Very big game number 3 here. Anybody's game right now. Tapatioj gets run over and gets a spreader.
He gets hit by the shrapnel.
He gets a spreader. This could be the one. Final form, he should have transfer damage. Will this be enough
Final form for Joey, too.
It is. Yep. Tapatioj wins, took the death on the shrapnel, and gets blessed with an immaculate spreader right there to give him game number 3 and take it away from Joeymittens. What a game. There you have it. Tapatioj is going to end up winning by about 20-some seconds. I mean, if that's any other drop, it would have been a photo finish. So that is going to do it. Joeymittens out the door at 6:53, a 34-second victory for Tapatioj, and finds himself 1 win away from moving on to the next round. Tough break there for Joeymittens because once again had the advantage going into the Mutoid Man fight, but once again drops favoring Tapatioj here.
See, now I'm just curious if Taps is going to get the same Razor Shield position, and will he recognize that and walk down this time?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that comes to fruition yet again, if he gets that same location of the Razor Shield, because he has been manipulating it a little bit off. I mean, at least he's still getting the Razor Shield, but the fact that it's in that location, yeah, that is very unusual indeed.
Yeah, because he even starts walking up and to the right where he thinks it's going to be, and that's costing him time on his firing lanes and picking up the drop, which has equated him losing about a second each time, and Joey pulls ahead.
You're correct about that, Drumboardist. That's the reason why Joey has had the whole shot in all 3 games so far. Let's see if Taps is able to figure out the proper adjustment and spawn the Razor Shield at the right location, and if he's able to recognize that. Game number 4 coming up. It's a must-win for Joeymittens. He must take this one to force the decider, or it's all over for him, and Taps will be moving on. We want to thank the Wolves for rating us here. You have caught us just in time. This could be potentially the final game of today's proceedings here on GG Speedruns. We had a quintuple header here on the 8th annual Super Smash TV Easy Percent tournament. We've had some very exciting matches. We've had some craziness on the Mutoid Man fights, and we have a good match brewing here between Taps and Joeymittens. Taps took the first game. Joeymittens took that second game. Taps taking the third game right now. Neck and neck. I beg your pardon, it was Joeymittens who took the first game. Taps has taken the last 2 games to force a double match point for Tapatioj. Must win for Joeymittens here.
Just waiting on Jack.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the countdown. If maybe he's coming, I could do the countdown. Let me see what's going on here. Nope, he's got it. Never mind. I was making sure he was on top of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We don't call him one of the best color commentators in the business for anything, you know. Here we go. We're going to be starting very shortly. Stand by.
Well, Cards, the problem was that apparently I slightly shifted the position of my index finger, so while I've been talking for the past 6 or 7 minutes, I've been pressing the wrong button to allow myself to talk on Discord.
Well, there you go. So that's the reason why we've heard nothing over the past, like you said, 6 or 7 minutes. So here we go. And once again, Tapatioj getting discombobulated on the Razor Shield location. 4 games in a row now. So as long as Joey doesn't get sabotaged, you would think he's going to have another hole shot.
Yeah, that's generally what I'm thinking here. I mean, he does a fair amount of walking, which sets off everybody's movement.
Not this time. Joeymittens, burned that Razor Shield very quickly, and it's going to be Taps with the hole shot. It's negligible, but it's about a quarter of a second lead. The first time Taps has had the hole shot all match.
I mean, sometimes you just got to take what the game's going to give you and work with it, and that's exactly
it. First drop orb for Tappy.
Man, Tapatioj riding the wave here, but not to be outdone. A second drop orb for Joeymittens.
Yeah, RNG not really playing any favorites right now, Cards. Both of them are getting what they need to stay competitive here. Just going to come down to skill and maybe a lucky rocket drop or two.
Oh, certainly. I mean, equal opportunity drops is what you want to see here, especially in a very competitive matchup like these two right here. Rockets to close the room for Joeymittens. We'll give him the lead, a 123 with a 125 on Tap side. Good for a 2-second advantage. And now these Rockets will be able to finish the job. Watch out for that swirl there, Joey. And he's got a Razor Shield. This is going to help him deal with the Swarmers. There's a lot of shrapnel exploding on Tap side, and he too gets a Razor Shield and some Rockets now. So these runners keeping everything under control here. They should have no problem ending this room at about 42.5 seconds. So you would think Joey is still going to have about that 2-second lead. But Taps does have Rockets, which should help him clear the rest of these Mr. Shrapnels. Still a 2:06, plays a 2:08. It's still the same 2-second lead. But Taps with half a clip of Rockets to start the room here. Total carnage time.
Yeah, Taps with half a clip of Rockets, but he missed the Mr. Shrapnel on the top left corner, so he's just going to stroll down and be a nuisance for Taps. Watch out for the Shrap. Nah, he's fine.
Meanwhile, Joey getting a Razor Shield so he can focus on the middle here, and he's got back-to-back spreaders now. So Joeymittens getting the Tapatioj treatment here in game number 4 with all these spreaders, gentlemen.
And a key for Tap.
Yeah, the drops have been dry on Tap side here in Total Carnage, and because of that, provided that Joeymittens has got good firing lanes, should extend that lead. Nice nuke there for Joey. Wait until the last moment to make the most out of it. Good dodge of the grenades there for Joey. A little bit of Razor Shield left, and now great room there. Very good room. He's got a 3:03 into the bonus room, and he has extended that lead by about 2 seconds. 4-second lead for Joeymittens. Taps has about a third of a clip of spreader left to take with him to the start of Tank Trouble. It is anybody's game. Taco Bell time.
I would say the edge is. I would give it to the man who has enough spreader to cleanly take out the first turret.
You may be right about that indeed. Let's see what happens. Opening drop going to be huge. It's a foot for Joey. He'll try to focus on one gunner, which he does successfully. A nuke for Tapatioj. That's a great opener. But, he got too close to the gunner and lost his orb. Joey also losing his orb, but has Rockets. Oh, how did he not get hit by the tank bullet right there? That should have went right through him and taken him down, but somehow that hitbox a little bit weird. Here's a replacement orb for Taps. Can he get to it? No. That purple shirt was right at 2 o'clock, and he gets another orb.
Well, sometimes the game wants to give you an orb.
And sometimes it does. And, RNG favoring the favorites. I mean, Taps is a slight favorite if you look at the seeding numbers. Just think about it, folks. Joey trying to do everything he can with what the game has given him since losing that orb. Rockets now for Taps, a replacement orb for Joeymittens right at the end of the room will give him a chance at the ball buster, and he keeps his lead with a 426. Taps losing his orb again, and again, he is struggling with tank trouble. We've seen him do that at least once so far in this match, and that lead is growing and growing and growing as that tank is still there on Tap's side. He is 16 seconds back again. He's going to have to erase this
Taps got
deficit.
suckered in by the position of that late rocket drop. It was right by the door. He had to forfeit the center. It's a miracle that nothing came out of the door to just snipe him right away, but being in such a bad spot, even with a great weapon, it's one of those situations where you're better off forfeiting the good drop for the good room position.
Absolutely, indeed. And Joeymittens caught a real bad break. He was preparing to do the ball buster, and he got flexed at the last second. But he still has the lead on Tapatioj as he's about a full form lead, but he does get sniped. Will get these grenades, though, to keep the firing going. Tapatioj gets a spreader, but he may be blocked. He's going to have to go around to get this, and he is blocked. No, he's blocked. 4, 3, 2, 1, same level 4. Meanwhile, Joey gets a spreader of his own, but he gets run over. Another spreader for Taps. He should get this one.
That's a gift for Tappy.
Yep, he'll get this one, and it's an empty drop for Joeymittens. Things looking bad now for Joeymittens as Taps is going to take the lead here. Another empty drop. It's back-to-back feet for Joeymittens, but Taps doesn't get a weapon. And now empty drop, a key. Oh, there's a lobber. Great pick up there, and Joey keeps the lead, but it's neck and neck, guys.
Conveniently, he just
Taps
lost
with a
his
couple
head.
of cheeky shots to take care of
And
those
great
shrapnels.
shooting for Joeymittens. It's final form time, but the lobby's not going to get to it. He's blocked by it. Can he get it? Can he get it? Yes, he can. Tap's still not on the final form yet. He's got lobbers. Final form now for Tapatioj. Joey missing shots. He's got a spreader win for him, and Joeymittens stays alive and has forced a 5th and deciding game in this match. What a game, folks. Joeymittens fighting for his life there, and we go to a 5th, gentlemen.
Our second game 5 of the afternoon here on Smash Sunday. Ooh, boy.
Now, I will tell you, folks, Tapatioj and Joeymittens, they've had some history, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Joeymittens got the better of Tapatioj the last time out, so Joeymittens trying to make it back-to-back, Tapatioj trying to exact some revenge here, but Mutoy Man, the blocked spreader, that ended up being the difference. Even though he got another spreader, Joey just kept the firing going, didn't need to do too much. He got a spreader of his own and just kept the consistent damage going to sneak in and take game number 4. We got a decider, folks.
I'm always a fan of the rubber match.
Oh, so am I. This is what we live for here in Super Smash TV. I mean, as 40 Watt would say, this is Smash TV. And this is definitely, peak Smash TV competition that you're seeing right here. You're seeing 2 veterans, outstanding runners who have put up respectable times in their past, have been in plenty of tournaments, and now find themselves in a 5th and deciding game here to advance to the next round. It is winner take all. Win, you're in. Lose, you're out. We'll see what happens here. This is going to be a great channel point prediction for you folks here on GG Speedruns. Good luck. You'll need it.
Let me just get my number vote in real quick.
Wait, we're allowed to vote? I didn't realize that. Oh my God, I've been missing out.
Yeah, commentators are allowed to predict with their channel points. Absolutely.
Just don't tell people. No point skimming or anything.
Right.
No biases. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't have to mention who you voted for, as long as you don't say anything in chat afterwards. Then no one will ever know what you voted for. So we're gonna get both of these runners ready to go here for the 5th and final game of this match between Tapatioj and Joeymittens. Again, the winner takes on the winner of E.T. Goham and Dark Lord Gonzo in the next round of that second chance bracket, the 3rd round of the second chance bracket. Loser goes home.
And we are off and running.
All right, here we go. Game number 5, the decider for Tapatioj and Joeymittens. Let's see what happens. Right now, tank trouble has definitely been a factor for both runners. And once again, all 5 games, Taps expecting the Razor Shield in the normal spot. It's been in the bottom left area of the center all 5 games.
I will say he has the exact precision firing to take out the first 3, but it's weird because everybody else also uses it to get the Razor Shield.
And Joey, struggling with the end fire of those last couple of foot soldiers there, is going to be trailing by a second. So back-to-back hole shots for Tapatioj after losing out on the first 3.
He just knows how to move wherever the Razor Shield's going to be, and so now he's pulling out Mr. Consistency. That's what you want to see.
Absolutely. He's been very consistent with those times out the door. So, yeah, eventually that consistency is going to pay off, and you're going to have that lead coming out. But nothing to write home about. There's a spreader for Joeymittens, but right now the drops haven't been too dazzling for either player here in Collect Power. So we're seeing a lot of grenades and a lot of junk here. More grenades. Holy Toledo. Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and this is nowhere close to what these runners want. Man, these are just some abysmal drops, but you know what? In a 5th and final game, this is what you want to see. A battle of attrition, folks. Let the game just give you nothing and see how you handle it.
Let's see the actual skill level.
I love that.
Oh, or give him an orb, that too.
I guess, I suppose, but he did let 4 shrapnel on the screen, so he's gonna lose some time. I don't know about Joeymittens. We'll see. He's got a nuke. He may use it just to put the room under control here because he's getting overwhelmed as well. Yeah, he's gonna use it. He's gonna take the little time penalty just to reset the room here. I think that's a good play because Joeymittens, things were getting a little bit out of control on his side.
Out of control, but he did a good job using that Razor Shield to take care of one of the traps, at least. Still needs an orb, but no real impact in the race. Dead even. The difference, of course, when Taps has the orb.
Yeah, Joey coming in with a half-second lead, but that lead is going to dwindle. Taps got sabotaged there by those grenades, but luckily no foot soldiers approach that orb there. An orb, just what the doctor ordered for Joeymittens to keep himself afloat. He needed that drop, gentlemen.
It's just what the doctor ordered.
But I love it. Hey, we got a drum boardist here. It works. Ooh, Taps, that's a dangerous grab there, but he does manage to get those spreaders, but he kind of sacrifices a little bit of killing lane there. A nuke there for Joey to give himself a little bit of a breather here. A nuke for Taps as well. Joey utilizing that Razor Shield to the best he can, and just a little bit of it is left, and a little bit of this room is left as well. So who's going to come out of here first? It's going to be very close, but I think, ooh, look out, Joey. Oh, man, that green soldier was giving him the fits, and it's close. 316. 318, about a second and a half lead. One more for the road, you guys. Oh, Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Product placement with Taco Bell.
Woo! Don't drop the chalupa. Get your Baja Blast because we got a dogfight. A second and a half lead for Joeymittens. No weapon for either player to start tank trouble. Oh, this is going to be insane. The open and drop is, dude, versus a nuke advantage Taps.
If he can get to it.
I would have preferred a quesadilla for the opening.
He's not going to get to it, though. Yeah, he just got bursted into the bottom right corner. Rockets, but he's picked up by the bullet. Ah, it's so close. Joey could have really put a lead on Taps and a lost opportunity there. And Taps
goes down, too.
Yeah. So now, battle of attrition. There's an orb replacement for Joeymittens. He'll be able to get it. Very nicely done. Good movement. And Rockets on the feet. Oh, but the purple shirt picks him off. Oof.
That may be a blessing in disguise if the Rockets keep coming cards. Rockets are the god in this room, and the orb just reduces your ammo for that clip by half.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, there you go. There's your Rockets.
I mean, really, all we're saying is we give you nothing. You have to work with it. And I like it.
Oh, yes. Joeymittens, 442 has the lead again going into Mutoy Man. Tapatioj just struggling here. Gets some grenades, but that clock is a ticking. Tick, 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 tick. It is bleeding. Rockets will be able to finish off the gunners up front for Joeymittens. Now he's looking for some kind of drop. Well,
and
he
Taps
grabbed it,
with the
whatever it was.
grenades
Was it
was
grenades?
he was focusing on the shrapnels when there were still swarmers left in the room. You have to take care of those first. Those are what determined the end of the room there. So those were
Yeah.
effectively wasted shots.
Yeah, and Taps shaking his head. He is not happy with the 5:06. He's 24 seconds back. His tournament is now on the line here. Lobbers, good consistent damage here for Joeymittens, but Taps needs to see a spreader or he needs to see the weapons dry up, and right now that's not happening anytime soon. And speaking of spreader, Joey thought about it, but he gets vibrated immediately. A lost opportunity, a big-time lost opportunity, as he could have used
Look
that
at that
invulnerability.
buff. Oof, that has to hurt if you're Joey, but mercifully, Tap's not really getting a whole lot to give him an opportunity to catch up. If
This
you're
one's
Joey.
gettable.
Look at that spreader. He's definitely going to get that one.
Absolutely. It does go away from him just a little bit, but Joey should get a couple of forms off of this. Nope, he gets vibrated, still at the rib cage. So Tapatioj still very much in this match here, but he needs another spreader here, or for the weapons to drive. Yeah, he got to the head popping off, and there's an invulnerability. Can he get to it? He will get to it. This should be Joeymittens' match right here, folks.
Not necessarily. Immaculate spreader for Taps. And he's still, oh my god, simultaneous final forms. We're in for a hell of a finish in this game 5.
We are indeed.
Taps gets run over. Oh no!
But Joey is pinned and he gets run over. Taps has lobbers. He's looking for the come from behind here. Rockets for Joeymittens. What's going to happen? Who's going to finish it first? Joey or Tapatioj? It's going to be Joeymittens. Whoa!
Oh my!
Joeymittens gonna hang on. Unbelievable. The spreader not enough for Tapatioj to come from behind. Joeymittens gonna win with a 6:53, and Tapatioj gonna have a 6:57. 4.5 second difference. He needed to erase 24 seconds. He erased 19.5 seconds. And once again, Joeymittens gets the better of Tapatioj, pulls off the upset, and is moving on to the next round. And the longtime veteran Tapatioj eliminated from the tournament. What a match, you guys.